Hey everyone, I'm Fira. Now, 4 weeks after unboxing my first fountain pen, I noticed something. While I admire and adore this pen, the one I grab most days is actually still my Uniball. Today, I'm sharing my beginner experience with the Benu fountain pen, the unboxing, what I learned, and how it fits into my journaling life. So, welcome back, everyone. I'm building a journaling practice that's calming and helps stem my anxieties. And along the way, I'm learning about stationery in a way that's actually useful, not overwhelming. Now, this fountain pen is a gift from Benu. This video is not sponsored by them, but thank you so much, Benu and Julie, for sending this across. It's the Darwin model with a medium steel nib. And this was the nib that was recommended by Julie since I wanted something that I could journal with every day. Now let's unbox this together and I'll share my first impressions as someone who's new to the world of fountain pens. The last fountain pen I used was way back when I was in junior school and I hated it because the ink would always stain my fingers. Now, I have been constantly saying, oh, I want to try a fountain pen. I want to try a fountain pen. But I've been hesitant about plunging into this world because, well, it has the potential to escalate into a really expensive hobby. And I've always associated fountain pens with inky fingers and exam season at school, which yuck. I still get nightmares about being in an exam hall and having not studied for it. It's been years since I've had to sit for an exam, but yeah, it still haunts me, and I don't know if it's the same with you guys. Oh, it comes with the ink cartridge as well. That's so good. Oh my gosh, they provide a lifetime warranty. That's amazing. And you've also got product care instructions, something which I will definitely need to read through because I am really bad when it comes to handling my things. So that is so good to know. Okay, let's get into this. Oh, wow. I'll put up the name of this particular pen on my video. It's a beautiful emerald green with flecks of what looks like copper tone in it. Really beautiful. This will go really well with my traveler's notebook actually. It says it's a medium point. I told the folks at Benu that I would be using it primarily for journaling and they suggested this particular nib size. Okay. Okay, quick beginner guide. Now we've already seen the nib. Fountain pens write with a light touch, no pressure. Inside, you've got the converter or what I call the piston, and this allows you to use bottled ink if you have some lying around. I don't have any bottled ink, so I'll set this aside for now. I'm going to be using the ink cartridge that came with the pen. This one is Diamond Oxford Blue. This comes with every Benu pen, and the company also sells it separately on the website. By the way, this pen is compatible with any standard international long ink cartridge. Now let's move on to the ink and paper test. Now for some people, the paper they journal on matters more than the pen, and I think I fall into this category. I mostly use traveler's notebooks with MD cream paper and lightweight paper. I'm just going to set this converter aside, otherwise I know I'm going to lose it. So I'm going to be testing the pen on the MD paper from Traveler's Notebook as well as their lightweight paper. As the name suggests, this paper is much thinner than their MD paper. And I'm also going to test it out on the Paper Republic journal. I use this quite a bit for my brain dump, so I think it would be good to try it on this as well. Now, MD paper is a high quality Japanese paper and is supposed to be ideal for fountain pens and colored pencils. The lightweight paper from Traveler's Company is thinner and more opaque. The lightweight paper is apparently made from Tomoe River paper, the same paper used in the standard Hobonichi journals. But as you'll see later, they perform quite differently with a fountain pen. I don't know the name of the paper used by Paper Republic, but it's a thick paper. So we have the Traveler's Company MD paper, regular. We have the lightweight paper, again from Traveler's Company, and this is the lined paper from Paper Republic. Now, when I'm testing the pen and how it writes on paper, I'm looking for a couple of things. Number one, I'm looking for feathering, which is what happens when the writing looks fuzzy or blurry instead of having that sharpness to it or crispness. I'm also looking for bleed through, which is whether the ink penetrates the paper and it soaks through so you can't really use the back of a page. And we've seen that quite often with poor quality paper. I'm also looking for ghosting, whether you can see the writing from behind, how long it takes to dry, whether the pen feels smooth, whether the writing feels smooth. Now, some of the points I mentioned don't really necessarily have to do with just the pen. A lot of it relates to the quality of paper as well. But I'm testing it out on these 3 notebooks because I want to see if this pen fits into my journaling routine and into my traveler's notebook ecosystem. I also want to do a quick dry time check because I want this to be practical for everyday notes, not just for pretty writing. Now I'm going to use it first on the Paper Republic journal. Now the writing is smooth, but I can see slight feathering on the Paper Republic paper. If you look at the word hello, you can see the feathering ever so slightly. I do love this ink color. It is very, very beautiful. So I'm going to try it on the Traveler's Notebook. I definitely prefer writing on the Traveler's Notebook MD paper compared to the Paper Republic one. There is hardly any feathering compared to Paper Republic. I definitely prefer the way the ink glides and performs on the Traveler's Notebook paper, both the lightweight and the regular. In fact, it looks more crisp on the lightweight paper. Now, in terms of feathering and bleed through, you can see bleed through on the lightweight paper. Definitely can't use the adjacent page. Comparing that to the regular MD paper, the bleed through is actually quite minimal. There is a bit of coasting, but at least you can still use this page. Looking at the Paper Republic page, so ghosting is also there. The bleed through, there's a bit of bleed through at the back. When I compare it to the Traveler's Company, the Traveler's Company actually seems to perform better in terms of bleed through. Let me also try it on my Hobonichi since I have it. The writing on the Hobonichi feels very, very smooth. It's almost similar to the lightweight paper. There is no bleed through and there is coasting. At least you can still use the page. In summary, the pen feels more smooth on the Hobonichi, followed by the Traveler's Company lightweight paper refill, then the standard refill, and then lastly, Paper Republic. The ink looks more wet on the Hobonichi, but the ink color is more pronounced on the standard MD paper. You can see the various shades of dark blue on it. There is feathering with Paper Republic, none on the others. Bleed through is very evident on the lightweight paper and a bit on Paper Republic. Now this pen really is absolutely gorgeous. The first time I really used this was when I was writing out my annual Christmas cards that I sent out to my friends. It worked great. The ink is nice, it's dark, the writing feels really smooth, and the color and overall vibe just lend to the whole Christmassy atmosphere, which I loved and adored. But will I really use this for everyday journaling? Now, when I think about the journaling that I do on a daily basis, one is where is it? It's right here. One is my gratitude journal. If you want to know how to create your own gratitude journal, you can just refer to my previous video. Now, for my gratitude journal, which is basically a 3-year diary, I do use lightweight paper. This is lightweight paper. I can't use the fountain pen for this because of the bleed through, and that would make the pages after that unusable. So I can't use it for that. I could maybe use it for my memory journal. I do use the regular MD paper in my memory journal, and this is where maybe the fountain pen can feel like a ritual. It will slow me down in a good way. The other journaling or intensive writing that I do is in my bullet journal or planner. I've actually shifted out my planning from the passport size to the regular size. I actually do prefer this size a lot more, specifically the weekly memo. I love this format for my weekly bullet journaling, and I'll probably do a sort of before and after as to why I've switched out from the passport version to the regular version, but that's another video. So I could use this for that. But this is the honest bit. I think the Benu pen is beautiful. It's genuinely artful. And when I initially read that the founders of Benu, Alex and Kate, have a background in fine watches and jewelry, it immediately clicked in my mind as to why the pens look the way they do. They're colorful, vibrant, and they're made to stand out. So I'm really, really grateful that my first ever fountain pen as an adult is a Benu pen. But for utilitarian purposes, I have to just revert back to my Uniball pens because it feels so precious. I don't naturally throw it into my bag. It was a joy to use this to write my Christmas cards, but for everyday on-the-go journaling and quick notes, I just keep reverting to my Uniball because it's easy, reliable, and I'm not worried about damaging it. And this is what's so important to me because I want to stick to a journaling practice that I will adhere to. And I think what that means is that these pens just have different roles in my life. This one is a desk pen, a sit down and write pen. But even if I'm sitting down and I'm at my desk for an intensive journaling session, such as when I'm writing into my psychosis journal, aka my memory journal, or my workbook journal, which is the Paper Republic, I revert back to Uniball because I do press down quite hard on the nib of the pen when I'm in flow and writing furiously, and I can't do that with this for fear of damaging it. So this is a pen baby in a lot of ways. You have to be very careful with it. You have to take care of it. Plus, another thing that I didn't really know about fountain pens, you're supposed to clean the nib frequently to prevent clogging and to make sure this works perfectly. And I have to say, I haven't done it since I received it. I don't even know how or when I'm supposed to do it. So that's something I need to educate myself on. So my simple review. This is beautiful. It's consistent. It works well with my traveler's notebook, but not with the lightweight paper. It looks beautiful on my desk. I get a surge of dopamine every time I look at it, but it doesn't replace my everyday carry-on pens, which I'm sure a lot of you established fountain pen users and collectors are going like, duh, you're not supposed to replace your everyday pen with this. But let me know, educate me in the comments below. I'm new to this, so I'm trying to establish this in my journaling routine and not let this be just another pretty thing. So let me know in the comments below what you use your fountain pens for. I've also added a link to Benu's site if you want to browse through their gorgeous collection. The link is not affiliated and this video is not sponsored by them. If you've ever tried a fountain pen, let me know what your first one was and whether it became a daily pen or more of a special occasion pen. And if you want, I can do a follow-up where I test a bottle ink using the converter. If you like this content, please hit the like button. It really helps my small channel out, and maybe consider subscribing as well so that we can hang out some more. I hope you found this useful and I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.